Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be talking about what the current meta is for the arena and also kind of giving some insight into how to kind of play the meta at the highest level and kind of the mid game and the early game as well. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so if you're a newer player or if you're kind of an endgame player, I hope this video can help you out a little bit. I have spent many hours in the arena. I've got my Great Hall development to 114 with a 99% win rate in Gold 4, and I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on how to farm the arena quickly, efficiently, and properly. So I'm going to try to touch base on what the current meta is and how to play it effectively. So basically in the arena, the meta in any sort of like turn-based game in general is probably going to revolve around speed. So anytime that you can go before the other team, you are generally going to have an advantage unless they are just far superior to you. And the fact that you go first doesn't even matter because they just take your onslaught and then murder you. So anytime that two teams are like evenly matched or it's a close battle, the team that goes first is gonna win. So the meta in arena kind of all the way through the game, early game, mid game, and end game, is about going before your opponent. And it gets, the higher you progress in the arena, it gets tougher and tougher to achieve that because obviously your opponents know that and they're going to be building to prevent you from going before them and stuff. So you'll see a lot of, speed auras in the leadership position. You'll see a lot of champions with an ability to boost turn meters, and you'll see a lot of people who apply good debuffs or lower turn meter or things like that. Anything to help you get an advantage in terms of going before your opponent gets to go. So I'll kind of go over how to build an effective team and the order of operations that goes into it. So I guess really quickly I'll show you what my team is when I farm the arena. And it's going to be an Arbiter in the lead position because we can see the aura skill is increase ally speed in the arena by 30%. Anytime we can get a speed aura, is just going to help bump us up over our opponent. We can see that my opponent here has a defense aura, so I'm getting a massive increase to speed in terms of my team versus their team. So odds are I'm probably going to go before their team. And then actually Arbiter is so amazing, and she's actually the reward for beating the game and completing all of the missions or whatever, because she can really carry you in the end game in the arena, because she also doubles down as a turn meter booster on top of the fact that she provides a speed aura. Then I'm going to be having the order is very important. You want your turn meter booster to go first, boost the turn meters of your team. Then you want your debuffer to go and debuff the enemy team, usually decrease their defense, place a weaken, decrease their attack, anything like that. You want something to debuff the enemy team, something with good accuracy and impactful debuffs. Then we want because my Arbiter fills multiple roles, normally you have to have a speed aura specialist, and then a turn meter booster, and then a debuffer, and then that only leaves you room for one nuker. But because of my Arbiter filling multiple roles, I'm able to kind of have that flex spot in the 4 spot, because we're going to go meter booster, debuffer, nuker, and then I've got that 4 spot to kind of play with. And I went with somebody who has an AoE buff removal. So someone like a legendary Kymar would also be great. But I went with the Madame Ceris because she does it on auto, so I don't have to sit here in manual. When you're talking about like farming the arena for hours like I have, getting the Great Hall, you're doing like 50, 60 arena matches a day. You want to be able to do an auto. You don't want to have to sit here and have to like micromanage your team. So I want a team that's going to perform well on auto. I'm going to pick battles where I go before the enemy team and just be able to click auto and be done with it. So Kymar would be amazing, but he resets cooldowns on auto, so I have to sit here and like micromanage it and make him do his you know, ability where he does an AoE buff removal. So that's why Madame is in there, and that's why Skull Crown is my nuker. So we'll see how that kind of works here. I just click auto, turn meter boost, debuff, nuke, and then if somebody's alive, we've got her to kind of clean it up, and she actually stole the buff of the Skull Crown. The Skull Crown, when she takes damage, is going to, or when she takes fatal damage, is going to place an unkillable buff, and that's why it's so important to have the buff removal there in the 4th spot. We can see I removed that buff, boom, cleaned it up, 10 seconds, we're out of here. So you can play like a defensive meta style, but if we're going to be fighting, you know, 40, 50-second battles instead of nice, clean, quick 10-second battles, that amount of time spent in the arena can really add up over the course of a month in terms of how much time you are spending like in the arena to speed farm it. All right, so how does this all work, and what are some champions that you can put in these roles? Remember, we need speed aura, turn meter boost, debuff, and nuking to kind of play the style and snap through the arena. Some of the good early game options are going to be Spirit Host is a very good option. You can get her for free from the campaign. She's got the speed aura, and then she also increases our attack. So on top of turn meter boost, we do want someone that also buffs our team. I should have mentioned that. We want speed aura, turn meter boost, damage boost, debuff, and nuke. That's kind of the 5 things that we need. Spirit Host is going to cover 2 of those bases. She's got a speed aura, and then she's going to increase the damage of our team. So something like that. And then another champion that's really popular is going to be Gorgorab, because he's got the speed aura and the turn meter boost and the increased attack. But worth noting, his turn meter boost is only 15%. There's usually a small version, which is 15%, and a big version, which is 30%. If we look right next to him, we've got Seeker. Is amazing in the arena because the 30% turn meter boost and then a 50% increased attack. So got the big turn meter boost and the buff, but no speed aura. So you kind of have to mix in to get all these roles established on your team. And in terms of speed aura, the best one in the game is going to be Lord Shazar, has a 32. And then I believe there's a few that tie him, like Kaimar and Arbiter. But 32 is actually the highest in the game. And then I think there's a couple at 30. And then we kind of trickle down from there. I think Skull Crown is like 24 or something. And they kind of sprinkle in after that. 23. Okay, and I think Jingle Hunter is 24. So yeah, you'll kind of want to go through and make sure you have those bases covered. Jingle Hunter, yeah, 24. So that's kind of like the speed aura, the boosting, and then for debuffers, you're looking for people who have AoE debuffing. Someone who's a rare is Bellower. So he's got he does pretty decent damage if you glass cannon him out. And he's got this ability here where it's AoE, decrease attack, and decrease defense. A very good kind of introductory debuffer for the arena. He's also a void, so he'll never hit weak. And then what we have to do, remember my arena team goes Arbiter. We have to set up how our turn meter boost affects our team and kind of making sure the speeds are optimal. So Arbiter is going to, we want our turn meter booster to go first. We want our turn meter booster to have the highest speed possible. So we can see here that my Arbiter has 272 speed. And then that means she's going to boost 30%. So like if my whole team is 250 speed, I'm kind of wasting speed because she's going to boost me 30%. So I just have to get 70% as fast as her. So what is 70% of 272? I have it written down here. It's 190.4. So I should have my slowest person be 191 speed. So Arbiter goes, and then Dracomorph debuffs, and he's at 201. And then my Skull Crown nukes, and she is at 197. And then remember, I want my slowest person to be 191, and we'll see what the witch is here. 191. So I get that full 30% turn meter boost out of even the last person on my team. I can get max value out of that boost, and I have all the bases covered. I've got the speed aura, the turn meter boost, the damage boost, the enemy debuff, the nuke, and the buff removal. That's kind of like the end game of like just speeding through gold 4. And when it comes down to what teams I'm looking for, I'm looking for a team that I feel comfortable I would go first against. So like looking for someone who doesn't have as much damage or turn meter boost as me, which would be like this one here. And also if their team power is significantly lower, I know I'm going to win. Like I know I'm going to win this. This is just free 4 gold medals, and I'm just kind of looking for teams, getting familiar with the portraits of, you know, who turn meter boosts, who doesn't, and just kind of knowing that I'm going to go first, and if I go first, I'm going to win. So that's why I'm able to have that 99% win rate. If we go out here and look at the Great Hall, we can see my 99% win rate. We want to be like up over 90%, so we're being efficient with our medals. So yeah, that's going to kind of do it. I just wanted to do a quick video just describing the arena meta for some of you out there that are maybe newer to mid-game players and kind of wondering what exactly is the meta, you know, kind of beginning game, early game, end game, and kind of how does it all intertwine and how does it all work out. So let me know what you think down in the comments, and as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.